Imagine Joy Boy not as a liberator, but as a tyrant's heir. A celestial dragon cloaked in divine blood, yet chained by forbidden truth. What if freedom's greatest symbol was born inside the cage of oppression? A hero raised among gods, destined to betray their sacred throne. His smile, not of joy, but rebellion carved into celestial destiny. The world would fracture under that revelation, ally and enemy, indistinguishable. Would pirates still follow him, or curse his heritage as unforgivable sin? The sun god, born from the very lineage that cast shadows upon slaves. His bloodline, divine, his spirit, revolutionary. A paradox too dangerous for history. Imagine Emu's throne trembling, knowing their greatest enemy came from their own blood. The Void Century rewritten. Not a war of classes, but family betrayal. A celestial dragon who turned his back on immortality, choosing a fleeting dream. That dream wasn't survival, it was freedom, stolen from his ancestors, golden chains. His enemies weren't kings or pirates, they were gods who called him brother. And for that, Joy Boy's name was erased, buried beneath centuries of silence. But tell me, how heavy must that crown of contradiction have felt? To be born a god, yet despise everything gods ever stood for. Every banquet, every golden hall, a prison masquerading as celestial paradise. Did Joy Boy smile because he was free, or because he was broken? Imagine the silence, knowing the chains you fight are your own bloodline's creation. His heart wasn't just rebellion, it was guilt etched deep into legacy. The slaves he sought to free were victims of his ancestors' divine cruelty. How does a man lead when his very existence mirrors the oppressor? Maybe that's why his promise was more than a vow. It was atonement. The laughter he carried wasn't joy, but defiance, a weapon against despair. Each ally who followed him unknowingly carried the bloodstains of his cursed heritage. Yet still, they believed, not in his lineage, but in the fire inside him. Because true leadership isn't perfection, it's carrying scars and still choosing to fight. Joy Boy wasn't worshipped as a god, he was trusted as a man. And maybe that's why his legend endures, whispering through centuries of forgotten silence. Then came the uprising, seas burning, skies cracking, nations trembling in fear. Joy Boy stood, not as a celestial dragon, but as humanity's last rebellion. His laughter echoed across battlefields, louder than cannons, sharper than celestial blades. The world government trembled because their greatest creation had become their greatest enemy. Bloodline meant nothing, only choice, and Joy Boy chose defiance over divinity. His allies weren't gods or kings, but dreamers who dared to believe. Every clash against the Celestials was a strike against centuries of cruel lies. The red line shook with secrets as Joy Boy carved freedom into stone. And yet, the promise was broken, the laughter silenced, the dawn delayed. Did betrayal end him, or was it the unbearable weight of destiny? Imagine the horror if the savior of slaves was once their master. What if the Void Century's silence isn't mystery, but shame buried in history? Maybe Joy Boy's truth was too dangerous, too human to be remembered. And now, Luffy inherits not just his will, but his contradictions. So I ask you, was Joy Boy the liberator or the ultimate deceiver?